जय जगन्नाथ फ्रेंड्स पीके स्टडी आईक्यू चैनल को आपण मानक बहुत बहुत स्वागत। तो चलते आज आम स्टार्ट करवा हाईकोर्ट एएसओ प्रिलिम एग्जामिनेशन करंट अफेयर स्टार्ट करवा। ऑलरेडी आम 2025 जनवरी फेब्रुआरी मार्च एंड 2024 डिसेम्बर आम करंट अफेयर देखी। तो आज आम देखा 2024 नवेम्बर मासर करंट अफेयर आम देखा। तो देखो फास्ट क्वेश्चन देखो who is the defending champion in the FIDE Chess World Championship 2024? तो देखा यार आंसर कौन हो डिंग लिरेन हो द फोर्थ गेम ऑफ FIDE Chess World Championship between the Gukes and defending championship, that is Ding Liren, ended in a draw on 29 November 2024 December. What is the purpose of UGS accelerated degree program? तो देखिबा यार उद्देश्य कौन ना to allow students to complete a degree in a shorter time. The university UGC has approved standard operating procedure for introducing accelerated degree program and extended degree program for undergraduate students. What is the name of the cyclone storm that made landfall between Karaikal and Mahabalipuram on 30 November 2024? That is, what is the cyclone? से पचारिबो cyclone नाम कोन जहाकी कराइकल एंड महाबलीपुरम रे लैंडफॉल हेतिला। तो देखिबा यार आंसर कोन हेजिबो पेंगल हेजिबो। यार आंसर मन रखिबे केउठारे नियर पंडिचेरी केबे ना 30 नवेम्बर 2024 रे हेतिला। तार स्पीड थिला 90 किलोमीटर पर आवर। Who has been elected as the 11th president of Asian Development Bank, that is ADB रो 11 नंबर प्रेसिडेंट किए इलेक्ट हेतिले? तो देखिबा यार आंसर कोन हेजिबो मासातो कोंडा हेजिबो। यार राइट आंसर मासातो कोंडा has been unanimously elected as the 11th president of the Asian Development Bank by its board of governors. He will assume office in February 2025. Which film won the Golden Peacock Award at 55th International Film Festival of India 2024? तो देखिबा तो यार आंसर कोन हेजिबो टॉक्सिक हेजिबो। इंपोर्टेंट मन रखिबे गोल्डन पिकॉक अवार्ड 55 नंबर इंटरनेशनल फिल्म फेस्टिवल रे इंडिया माने के जीतिथिला केउ फिल्मडा? तो देखिबा यार आंसर हेजिबो टॉक्सिक हेजिबो। यार राइट आंसर। What is the India's rank in globally in aluminium production? Aluminium production रे इंडिया रो रैंक केते जदी देखियो वर्ल्ड रे तो हेजिबो सेकंड हेजिबो। इंडिया रिमेन्स ए की प्लेयर ग्लोबली ranking as second largest aluminium producer among the 10 top countries. It refined copper and fourth largest iron ore producer. तो देखिबा टॉप 10 रे जाउची ना कॉपर एंड फोर्थ लार्जेस्ट आयरन प्रोड्यूसर होची इंडिया। What was the theme of the 43rd India International Trade Fair 2024? तो कौन थीम? तो देखिबा यार थीम कौन विकसित भारत एट 2047. 43rd India International Trade Fair concluded on 27 November 2004 at Bharata Mandapam in New Delhi. The theme of this year was Fair Viksit Bharat at 2047. Who took the oath as the Chief Minister of Jharkhand after Assembly election in November 2024? तो यार आंसर कौन हेजिबो? दैट इज हेमंत सोरेन हेजिबो। राइट आंसर हेमंत सोरेन, the leader of the Jharkhand मुक्ति मोर्चार ये कोन लीडर अटंती he is said to take the oath as the chief minister of Jharkhand for the fourth time on November 28, 2024. What is India's rank in a network readiness index that is 2024? तो देखिबा इंडिया रैंक केते हे जिवो ना 49 हे जिवो. India has climbed 11 places in network readiness index, securing the 49th rank globally as announced on 27 November 2024. What is the ISRO's upcoming Venus mission? ISRO's upcoming Venus mission set to launch in 2024. तार नाम कौन से भेनस मिशन रो तो देखिबा शुक्रयान. ठीक अछि मन रखिबे केबे लॉन्च हबो ना 2028 रे लॉन्च करा जिवो. Chandrayaan 4 is planned as a collaborative mission between India and which country? Chandrayaan 4 टा कायम केम कंट्री मध्ये रे कोलैबोरेट हेछि बा कोलैबोरेट हबो दैट इज इंडिया एंड जापान. केबे आको ए करा जिवो ना लैंड करा जिवो मून साउथ पोल रे ना 2030 सुधा. Who won the gold medal at under 8 world cadets chess champion 2024? तो देखिबा यार आंसर कोन हे जिवो डेविड रेड्डी हे जिवो यार राइट आंसर. Who is the youngest cricket player to secure an IPL contract in league's history? तो देखिबा यार आंसर कोन हे जिवो वैभव सूर्यवंशी हे जिवो राइट आंसर. जे कि माने सबटार यंगेस्ट क्रिकेट प्लेयर जे कि आईपीएल रे खेली चंदी. एबे वर्तमान आईपीएल चलीची आईपीएल रे मध्ये कोन ये भलो परफॉर्मेंस मध्ये करि चंदी. सबटार यंगेस्ट दैट इज 13 इयर्स ओल्ड माने लगभग 14 वर्ष तांको हबो से भलो परफॉर्मेंस मध्ये खेली चंदी कर चंदी. Who brokered the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah in November 2024? Russia and Iran, US and France, Germany and Egypt, India and Saudi Arabia. तो देखिबा तो यार राइट आंसर हे जिवो US and France हे जिवो यार राइट आंसर. What is the expected outcome of ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah? तो देखियो यार आंसर कोन हे जिवो a halt to the war and the withdrawal of forces from the South Lebanon. Who is known as the father of the White Revolution in India? Who is known as father of White Revolution in India? तो यार आंसर हे जिवो डॉक्टर Verghese Kurien हे जो यार राइट आंसर. सेलिब्रेटेड नेशनल मिल्क डे आमे केबे सेलिब्रेट करचोंदी ना 26 नवंबर आमे को सेलिब्रेट करचोंदी ऑनर टू द 103 बर्थ एनिवर्सरी ऑफ द डॉक्टर Verghese Kurien known as the father of white revolution in India. मन रखिबे. When did Constitution Assembly adopt the Constitution of India? तो देखिबा तो यार आंसर कोन हे जिवो एडॉप्ट केबे करला ना 26 नवंबर 1949 दैट इज ऑप्शन सी. बट जेतलो से पचारिबो केम इनटू इफेक्ट और केम इन फोर्स तो यार आंसर कोन हे जिवो जनवरी 26 1950 हे जो यार राइट आंसर. ठीक अछि एडॉप्ट वर्ड आसिला तो मन रखिबे नवंबर 26 1949 जदि केम इन इफेक्ट आसिला ताहाले जनवरी 26 1950. Under which campaign tagline are the celebration of 75th anniversary of the Indian Constitution being conducted? तो देखिबा तो यार राइट आंसर कोन हे जिवो दैट इज बी हमारा संविधान हमारा स्वाभिमान. Which player become the most expensive in IPL history during 2025 occasion? तो ऑप्शन तो देखो यार आंसर कोन हो ऋषभ पंत हो सबुठारु अधिक मोस्ट एक्सपेंसिव प्लेयर हो तो कारण देखो केते ना लखनऊ सुपर लीग जी एंट्री से खेलिबे दैट इज 27 करोड़ से ऑप्शन है who emerged victorious as Uruguay's next president in recent election in November 2025 तो देखिबा तो यार आंसर कोन हेजिवो यामांडू ओरसी हेजिवो यार राइट आंसर where was the 29th session of the conference of parties that is COP29 to the UNFCCC held from November 11 to November 22 2024 that is केउंडर हबो ना बाकू अजरबैजान रे हबो इंपोर्टेंट केते नंबर सेशन ना 29 नंबर सेशन which political alliance won the Maharashtra Assembly elections with a majority in 2024 तो देखिबा क्यों पॉलिटिकल अलायंस जीती इंडिया ब्लॉक महायुति अलायंस ना थर्ड फ्रंट ना राष्ट्रीय दल जनता दल तो देखिबा यार आंसर कोन है महायुति अलायंस है यार राइट आंसर which political alliance retained power in Jharkhand in 2024 elections तो देखिबा इंडिया ब्लॉक इज द राइट आंसर who become the champion of 40th All India Governors Gold Cup International Football Tournament 2024 तो यार राइट आंसर है नॉर्थ ईस्ट यूनाइटेड फुटबॉल कप है यार राइट आंसर who won the men's doubles tennis title at the ATP Challenger Tour in Italy in November 2024 तो यार राइट आंसर है and Sri Ram Balaji and Ritvik Bolipali on which day Constitution Day is commemorated तो देखिबा केबे हमें Constitution Day पे ऑब्जर्व करछंती जेबे हमें Constitution को अडॉप्ट करले सेही डे को हमें कोन करिबा Constitution Day पे हमें ऑब्जर्व करिबा तो देखिबा या राइट आंसर है November 26 2024 which art forms are recognized by the Ustad Bismillah Khan युवा पुरस्कार क्यों फॉर्म्स को मिले छि बा क्यों आर्ट को मिले छि तो देखिबा क्यों आर्ट मिले ना म्यूजिक डांस ड्रामा एंड फोक एंड ट्राइबल आर्ट फॉर्म्स रे मिले which resource resource institute has identified a new route to detect the monkeypox virus in November 2024 तो या राइट आंसर कौन जवाहरलाल नेहरू सेंटर फॉर एडवांस्ड साइंस रिसोर्स which organization collaborated to launch the first banana export train तो देखिबा तो यार आंसर कोन हो देखंतु साउथ सेंट्रल रेलवे एंड कंटेनर कोऑपरेशन इंडिया ऑफ इंडिया याको प्रथम थर पई कोन कराई छि बनाना एक्सपोर्ट ट्रेन ऑफ द सेशन ऑन November 22 in which state will the Khelo India Youth Games 2025 will be held that is in Bihar which Ukrainian city was targeted by the intercontinental ballistic missile launched by Russia on 21st November 2024 that is Dnipro. Where is the 55th International Film Festival being held from 20 to 28 November that is Goa. Which team did India defeat to win the Women's Asian Championship in November 2024? The right answer is China. What is the name of the award conferred upon Prime Minister Narendra Modi by Dominica? Their answer is Dominica Award of Honor. What is the name of the Prasara Bharati's newly launched OTT platform? तो प्रसार भारती द्वारा लॉन्च कराइथिवा नुवा OTT प्लेटफॉर्म नाम दैट इज वेब्स तो आमे देखिबा तो वेब्स ड्यूरिंग द माने प्रसार भारती लॉन्च OTT प्लेटफॉर्म दैट इज वेब्स ड्यूरिंग द ओपनिंग सेरेमनी ऑफ 55th इंटरनेशनल फिल्म फेस्टिवल इन गोवा. What is the name of the first indigenous antibiotic launched in India for resistance infectious? So that is napithromycin is the right answer. Which teams advanced to final of the Women's Asia Hockey Champions Trophy in 2024? India and China. Which country will hold 20th G20 presidency in 2024? 5. That is South Africa. How many domestic passengers flew on 17th November 2024, setting a new record? That is option C. Where was the 19th G20 summit held in November 2024? That is Rio de Janeiro. Which advanced communication satellite was launched by ISRO on November 18, 2024? What was its main purpose? That is option B, GSAT 20 for broadband service and in-flight internet. Why did ISRO choose SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket for GSAT 20 launch instead of India's LVM3 or Ariane Space? That is option B. India's SLV3 couldn't carry GSAT 20 heavy payload and Ariane Space lacked operational rockets. What are the key features of the GSAT 20, including its weight, operational lifespan, and launch provider? That is option B. Who has been appointed as the new Comptroller and Auditor General, that is CAG, of India in November 2024? That is K. Sanjay Murthy is the right answer. Who won the Blitz title at the Tata Steel Chess India tournament in Kolkata in November 2024? That is Magnus Carlsen is the right answer. What air quality index level generally considered severe? That is above 400 air quality index is known as severe. Which award was conferred upon Prime Minister Modi by Nigeria on November 17, 2024? That is option B, Grand Commander of Order of the Niger. What is the range of capability of India's first long-range hypersonic missile? That is greater than 1500 kilometers. Janjatiya Gaurav Divas is celebrated on November 15 every year to commemorate the birth anniversary of which leader? The right answer is Birsa Munda is the right answer. The first trilateral power transaction inaugurated on November 15, 2024 via India Power Grid involved which countries? So देखिबा your answer is ଯିବ India, Nepal and Bangladesh. Which three countries is Prime Minister Narendra Modi visiting from November 16 to 21? That is Nigeria, Brazil and Guyana. Which city in Brazil is hosting G20 summit that PM Modi attended on November 18, 2024? That is Rio de Janeiro. Which party won a two-third majority in Sri Lanka parliamentary elections held in November 2024? That is National People's Power (NPP). When is Guru Nanak Jayanti celebrated? The right answer is Kartika Purnima is the right answer. Where was Guru Nanak Dev Ji born? The right answer is Talwandi in Nanak Sahib. Which country announced its highest national honor for the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on November 2024? That is Dominica. Which weapon systems flight sets were completed by DRDO in November 2024? That is guided Pinaka weapon system. Why was November 14 chosen as World Diabetes Day? That is right answer. It is the birth of Sir Frederick Banting, whose birthday is celebrated as Children's Day on November 14 in India. That is Jawaharlal Nehru. Where is 43rd edition of the India International Trade Fair being held? That is option A, Pragati Maidan, New Delhi. DRDO conducted the first flight test of its LRLACM from the integrated test range in Chandipur, Odisha in November 2024. What is the full form of LRLACM? That is Long Range Land Attack Crucial Missile. Pankaj Advani, who recently won 28th world title, is associated with which sports? That is billiards is the right answer. In the World Intellectual Property Indicators 2024 report, India ranks among the 10 top 10 countries in which of the following categories? That is option A, patents, trademark and industrial design is the right answer. Who won the Prime Minister election in Mauritius in November 11, 2024? That is Dr. Nabin Ramgoolam is the right answer. National Education Day commemorates the birth anniversary of which prominent Indian economist or sorry educationist educationist, that is Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. Who won the Masters title at the Chennai Grand Master Chess Tournament on November 11, 2024. That is GM Aravind Chittambaram, who was sworn as the 51st Chief Justice of India on November 11, 2024. That is Justice Sanjeev Khanna. Where is the 29th UN Climate Change Conference being held in 2024? That is option C. Baku, Azerbaijan is the right answer. Which album by Indian musician Ricky Cage received a nomination in the Best New Age Ambient or Chant Album category for 67th Grammy Awards? The right answer is Break of Dawn. Anushka Shankar, who was nominated for the 67th Grammy Award, is known for playing which musical instrument? That is sitar. The annual joint military exercise Astra Hind alternatives between which two countries? That is India and Sri Lanka. At which NTPC facility is the world first CO2 to methanol conversion plant located? That is Vindhyachal is the right answer. Who is the Chief of Defence Staff, the CDS of the Indian Armed Forces as November 2024? The right answer is General Anil Chauhan is the right answer. Next question. What is the primary objective of the centralized pension payment system under the EPS 1995? That is C. To allow pension disbursements from any bank branch nationwide. Who is the Union Minister of Labour and Employment in Government of India? That is C. Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya. On which day National Cancer Awareness Day observed annually? That is November 7 is the right answer. Observed National Cancer Awareness Day. INS Vikrant is associated with which command of the Indian Navy? That is Western Naval Command is the right answer. Who won the US presidential election in November 2024? That is Donald Trump is the right answer. Who is the first Indian to achieve a world champion title in any World Boxing Federation WBF professional boxing category? That is Mandeep Jangra is the right answer, option B. Which country launched Lignosat, the world's first wooden satellite, into space to test its viability as space-grade material in November 2024? That is Japan. What is the name of the first ritual observed on the initial day of the Chhat Puja? That is Nahayo Khayo. What is the percentage decline in TB incidence did India achieve from 15 to 23? That is 17.7 percentage. What is the largest year for India to achieve NTB goals? That is 2025. Which tribe primarily inhabits the newly declared Meluri district, Nagaland, that is C. Pochori Nag. Where is the fifth edition of the Vietnam India bilateral army exercise, that is BINFAX 2024, being held, that is Ambala, Haryana is the right answer. In which category has the film Sunflowers were the first ones to know qualified for 2025 Oscars, that is live action short film? Where has ISRO launched India's first analog space mission in November 2024, that is Leh Ladakh? What is the main purpose of analog space mission? That is to replicate space environments and test life support system. Where is the 15th India-US Joint Special Forest Exercise Vajra Prahar held in September 2024? That is Arcad Combat Training Center, Idaho, USA. तो आज में एति आम रखा आम कौन कले ना आज 2024 नवेम्बर आम कंप्लीट कले करंट अफेयर। तो आम नेक्स्ट क्लास रे सेप्टेम्बर देखा अक्टोबर देखा, ठीक अच्छे। टिके रही बोधे देखा टिके अच्छी आम एंड करदे। Ningal Chokova is a festival community in Manipur, that is Meitei community, who assumed the role of the Defense Secretary of India on November 1, 2024. That is Rajesh Kumar Singh is the right answer. Which Indian state was the first to be formed based on linguistic lines? That is Andhra Pradesh. On which date was Karnataka officially recognized and reformed from Mysore? That is November 1, 1956. Which state celebrated Rajyotsava Day on November 1 each year? That is Karnataka. Kerala was formed by merging which three regions? That is Cochin, Malabar and Travancore. Haryana was carved out of which state in November 1, 1966? That is Punjab. Which river banks were illuminated with diyas during 2024 Deepotsava in Ayodhya? That is Tarau. तो आज आम ये रखा। तो नेक्स्ट क्लास आम कौन करवा करंट अफेयर आम देखा। तो आज आम कौन कले कंप्लीट कले ना नवेम्बर मंथ 2024 मसीहार आम करंट अफेयर देखले जहाँकि आमर हाईकोर्ट एएसओ मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट अटे। आमर पीके स्टडी आईक्यू ऐप को आपण मैंने प्ले स्टोर जाकि डाउनलोड करूँ एवं डाउनलोड कलापर से सबू कोर्स गुड़ाक गोटे ऑर्डरली मैनर रे सजेक रखा जाइए। तो आपण मैंने सब्सक्रिप्शन नहीं तार फायदा उठातु जमीक आम डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट हो हाईकोर्ट हो सीजीएल मेन्स हो जेकोसी एग्जाम सब कोर्स गुड़ा अवेलेबल अच्छी। आपण मैंने तार कोर्स नहीं आप सक्सेस हो पारे सहित आपको कौन मिल ना स्किल टेस्ट बेनिफिट नहीं पारे, ठीक अच्छे। देन एबे कौन गोटे स्पेशल ऑफर चली ऑफर फॉर हाईकोर्ट एएसओ, ठीक अच्छे। कौन हाईकोर्ट एएसओ प्रिलिम प्लस मेन्स प्लस स्किल टेस्ट प्लस भाइवा ए सब जगह गोटे ही मात्र सब्सक्रिप्शन आप नहीं पारे ओनली 249 रे आप नहीं पारे आउ सब गुड़ा कोर्स रे आपण मानू 20% ऑफ अच्छी आपण गोटे ओपन कोड यूज करी नहीं पारे दैट इज सक्सेस 02 रे आपण 20% ऑफ नहीं पारे तो आज में रखा नेक्स्ट क्लास रे पुणी देखा जय जगन्नाथ।